Hello and welcome to the Elevenses Business Show, where we take time out to reflect on our business, the business world, technology, finance, and all things for business success. We are your hosts, and my name is Maureen Egby, the Digital Confidence Coach. And ladies, would you like to introduce yourselves?
Hi, my name is Mauva. I'm from Malion Accountancy Services Limited.
Hi, my name is Yejide, and I'm from Logic to Create. We provide WordPress security specialisms.
Okay, so let's just get this started. So our topic for today is the reality of entrepreneurship. So what is entrepreneurship?
Ooh.
The silence already. Entrepreneurship.
Yes, I know, because that's a hard one, because I thought I was an entrepreneur until the other day someone corrected me and said, no, you're not really, because you're still working in your business. So I need to flip my mind now and say, okay, so what does it take to be an entrepreneur?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I looked up the definition of entrepreneurship, bit of a geek like that. And apparently an entrepreneur is a person who sets up a business or businesses, taking on financial risks in the hope of making profits. So I guess in that way, for myself, I've started 2 businesses and taken on the financial risk. I don't know if I've already done that. I mean, I spent a lot of money on them, but I don't know if that's how it equates, and I don't really think it does. And again, like Mauva, I've been questioning my so-called entrepreneurship because I was talking to somebody and they were like, oh, are you VAT registered? I was like, no. And again, working in the business is something that I find myself doing a lot.
Okay.
I mean, that definition that you just gave, Yej, it's like, yes, I hear that, but I think there's more to it than that definition. Are you with me?
Yeah.
As you just explained,
Well,
It's
that's the
not just
definition I came across as well in the English dictionary. And I thought,
Wow.
that is just too simple. So it's like,
Yes, it is.
In fact, if I go and, do an exchange with someone, like I'm going to sell them something, like I'm going to sell you my sweetie, you give me money, and I'm an entrepreneur.
Exactly. Or should I set up a business just to as you say, sell a sweetie? What is that?
Am I Alan Sugar?
Not yet, maybe.
Exactly.
So yeah, I think that's way too simple, and I think that's when people band that whole label around. I'm an entrepreneur, but really, they need to just actually take a moment and just really think about what is it? Where are they in their business journey?
Yeah, because even I think like nowadays, I feel saying I'm a business owner is it makes me feel a bit awkward to a certain extent.
Why?
Because I feel like, there's certain milestones that one needs to reach in terms of, like I said, being VAT registered or whatever. There's a threshold, isn't it? But also things like being able to hire staff, maybe even having, I mean, now with COVID, obviously everybody's working from home, but traditionally you could have a headquarters or something like that, and then you have maybe your satellite offices. For my creative business, it might be like having a factory. Do you see what I mean? So those kind of visions of that. But at the moment, it's me, my laptop, and the little space in the corner or whatever.
Yeah.
I have a studio. So do you see what I mean? I think there's we have our visions and our dreams of what that is individually, and I guess and what we've seen with well-known entrepreneurs.
See, okay, not who told you, but that person who told you about the VAT threshold, I'm not sure where they're coming from with that, because you can register VAT at any point if you wished.
Yeah, that's true.
Being VAT on the threshold just means more work, to be quite honest, and more fee to pay out to your accountant.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yes.
I don't think that can get into, I don't know, I just don't like that comment, to be quite honest. That person needs to go and
I mean, it's not like they said it to me that I'm not an entrepreneur because I'm not VAT registered, but it makes me think, because they said, oh, are you VAT registered? Nah. So then it just makes you question about the kind of levels that you need to be kind of aiming for.
But hold on. I'm going to pull that back. Because actually, for me, that sounded as though that was based on what she considers is an entrepreneur. So, I mean, okay, I have two sides to my business. So that's the digital confidence, helping people with systems. But as well, I also do confidence coaching. And one of the key questions is that what is it that you want? So some people will set a monetary level. So her saying about VAT, maybe a monetary level that she set that will then define whether she's achieved her goal as being an entrepreneur. So it goes back to what does success look like for you?
She could have achieved being an entrepreneur at that level, but she's still working in her business.
I mean, like, it wasn't just this lady, because there was also another thing that I went to just before Christmas, and it was about, you know, getting to a certain level as well. And they had 3 different programs of coaching and mentoring, and one was the threshold one, which was to get you to earning that amount VAT threshold. Do you see what I mean?
Right.
So in terms of in some areas of the business world or whatever, people are seeing that as a milestone and a target to then claim certain titles in terms of entrepreneurship and business.
Totally. For me, that sounds like a great motivation, as in get your business to a certain milestone, you know. And it reminds me of, again, something that I've used within my coaching is the Robert Kiyosaki 4 quadrants, where he points out the stepping stones of getting to the point to understand where you are in your business. So like the first one is the employee, second one speaks for himself, where you're working for somebody else and getting paid, you have a job. And the next one is self-employed, and I love this. He labeled it as you own a job, you know. So in terms of because I know when I heard this, I had to laugh, because it's like, not only do you own a job, it's even worse than being an employee as such, because now you've got to do all the paperwork for your job.
You manage.
Admin is hard, man, trust.
The employer.
Yeah, but when I look at it, the benefits though are that as an employee, as a self-employed person, you can set your worth, you know, your values, you know, what you charge, whereas being an employee, that's set for you, and you've got boundaries around you. And then from employee, self-employed, then you've got the business owner. And I think that's what you were talking about, Yej, in terms of, as well, Mauva, you mentioned it, as people, where you own a system that your business runs and people are running that for you. You know, you're managing, making sure that everything is running well. And then finally, the investor, where you're just getting the money, just watching the money roll in. You know, so yeah, it's a great starting point to think about actually where are you, so that then you can plan where you want to go.
Yeah, definitely.
It's hard getting there though, isn't it? Don't you think? Well, I feel so anyway, because I feel I should be more further along the journey that I am now.
Okay.
I think one of the challenges I come across is getting the right staff.
Right.
Okay.
I know you want to find the people who they're like you know, their attention to detail, they've got the same drive, same passion. Obviously, you're not going to find that, because it's your business. That's how you have to be about your business.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah, but it's still nice to find someone who's got a little bit of drive just like that. And I think I found them.
Okay.
I think.
Okay. Well,
I'm quite happy with that.
That's good.
So let's see what happens from this day forward.
Oh, but you're so right. You're so right. Because if you think about when you were an employee, what was your motivation?
Money.
Yeah, that's the main thing. That's the main thing. And that's where I find the issue is, in terms of, obviously, if you're only making enough money to kind of like support yourself and allow your business to run, then you're not going to have enough to bring people on to be able to for them to live comfortably or whatever.
Exactly.
And I mean, last year I took on two interns, and the year before I took on one. The first time I had an intern, they were from America, and they paid to be an intern to come and work for business, so they came over. Excuse me. And that was fine for me, and we were able to work together, obviously. But in my mind, I was like, "Oh, I'm not paying this person. I feel a bit weird about it." The second year, when I took on the two interns, again, that came through university, and it was from East London, and that was good in terms of I was paying them myself, but then I was getting paid back by the university, which is fine. And with one of them, I actually continued that journey on a bit more, where I was paying them after their internship with the university had finished. So, I mean, that felt good to a certain extent, and it also made me look at how I needed to raise my levels of sales and services to make sure then the money came in to pay them and so on. So I think going through the experience of the first one, then the second one, and now moving forward, it's just like, okay, how much is, what kind of, we need to get people who we can pay on a full salary, but we've got to make that money.
No, totally. Totally. I had the experience as well, still going through an experience with an intern, and it's not, it's one, being clear about what it is that you need, because people are like, oh, I need help, but they're not actually really clear about what they need and what they need someone else to do for them. So one of the things that I'm really focusing on and want to help people with is like understanding the processes, because if you don't know what you need to do or how to do it, how can you tell somebody else to go and do it?
That's why I like to learn from the bottom upwards. Are you with me? It's like I can't jump into something that I don't know nothing about, because I need to understand it myself.
Okay, but that's a good point though, because I know for me, you're like the brain, right? That as in sense of that, like the IT, you get into everything and you go into the background and you can deconstruct something and then put it back together. For me, no, it's no, I'm easy. Let me bring somebody in that has the knowledge and let them do the work. But again, it's that having enough funds to be able to get the expert. So money versus time.
And I think also it is that thing of what Mauva was saying, is that you need to know your stuff inside out for them to be comfortable to pass it on. Because if you pass stuff, if you bring somebody in who's an expert on something, on a system, and for example, I'm very much a GDPR police or whatever people call me and all this kind of stuff, there's risks to that. Where they could just come in and be manipulating you, they do whatever, and you're not paying attention to it because you feel comfortable that they're doing whatever they're doing for you. Meanwhile, they may have their own, intentions. So I think it's not like you're micromanaging and you're like, CCTV all over them. But
hidden camera in the back.
Camera in the back.
There's a camera in the roses, by the way, just saying.
Oh my God. Let's not even go into that. That's a whole different. But and no, I'm not gonna lie, even with one internship where I applied for, they told me to cameras into my studio, to protect myself and to protect the individual as well, because they were under 18 or whatever, and it was through a college scheme. And I was scared, I was like, and I didn't actually get back to them on anything, because I was just like, oh my God, this is too much. But these are the kind of things that you really need to kind of think about in terms of this. And but yeah, going back to your processes and systems, as we're all kind of self-employed, it is that thing of, you've got a lot to do, right? And you just do it naturally, and you wake up every morning, you have your task, you do it. But there is a need for the documentation process so that when you start handing over, you know, you're comfortable that things are going to be done how you would like them to be done. And, you know, you should always be open for adapting as well, and listening to other people's ideas. And I think that's where it's great to have young people on board, and even older people who are experienced or whatever, to listen to. They might say, oh, this, it could be quicker if we do it this way, or, you know, those kind of things. So yeah, it's a lot to think about.
It is. I mean, how do you find doing your paperwork? I don't mean like, you know, your admin work.
What paperwork? No. Yeah.
I'll let you know when I get an administrator.
Oh gosh, that's funny. Sorry. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Sometimes I just kind of like struggle with it. Like I just need sometimes I need to take time out, just do the paperwork. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
When you're talking about paperwork, let's like clarify in the accountants world, because we know you guys have different kind of paperwork to everyone.
Accountancy paperwork.
I'm talking about the HR aspect, basically.
Okay.
Oh, because you have somebody on board, like
yes. Because obviously you have to get your terms and conditions, your health and safety, your fire safety. Okay, they're not in my office right now, but you know they could be. And some happen in my office, you know. Yeah,
I think that to a certain extent with my studio more, I've seen more of that, and also with the internships as well. I think with the first ones, they actually gave us all the terms and conditions and stuff like that, and we sorted out the contracts that way. But last year, a lot of the contracting, I had to do like the onboarding documents and all that kind of stuff, which was good. For me, it meant development and progression, I guess. And I guess I use things like Simply Docs, where you have the templates already made out for you, so you don't have to work too hard in getting, you have a template ready there that then you can adapt and you can be using. So that was, required a bit of investment, obviously buying the subscription. So I think that really helped, actually.
So it always sounds like the key thing is research. Research for the things that you actually really need. HR, again, expertise. If it's not our field of expertise, you need to ask those questions and ask the people that are going to know. And you mentioned Simply Docs. I love Simply Docs. I do. I think it's got so much information that I would never think of. I think this is like, hopefully for everyone that's watching this, that this is an opportunity to also pick up those kind of pointers as well, because it's only until you start talking about different things and that different challenges and issues that we learn from each other, and we can share, knowledge and information that can help us be more successful in our businesses too.
Yeah, definitely.
So, well, I'm going to actually say this because yesterday you haven't said it, that if anybody wants to find out more about Simply Docs,
I was just getting the link to put into the thing.
Oh, okay.
I'm multitasking there.
Listen, I'm using my entrepreneurship there. I think I need my,
Don't worry, you'll get your referral fee later. But let me at least drop the link first, though. Hey.
So while yesterday's doing that, Simply Docs is a great subscription, a great place where you can get lots of documentation that's going to support you for the success of your business, and making sure that you keep in line with know what you need to know to do certain things, but also be compliant.
Especially GDPR.
Yes, GDPR, being compliant. All right, so have a check it out. Just put in the link in. Okay, so that well. All right, so while you do that, question.
Okay, the link's in.
Great.
Ladies, because our time is getting there.
Yeah.
So before we go, right, two things. One, I would like to quickly know, why did you go down the route of entrepreneurship? What led you down here?
Should I go first?
Yeah, I have too many ideas. Like, I
Oh,
have way too many ideas. And if I could make every idea into a business, I would be like a multi-conglomerate, multinational, God knows what.
there's still
But
time.
yeah, I mean, there's time, but there's only so much I can manage. So sometimes I just pass on their ideas. Secondly, after being made redundant in 2011, and prior to that, I'd only really worked 7 years full time, and I didn't like it. Not gonna lie, I didn't like the restrictions within it. So I'm a good worker. I'm a very hard worker, but I don't think I'm a good employee. So that's just it. Like I'm always gonna be battling and questioning everything, which I think we should be able to do in our lives. Do you know what I mean? So I just needed to have the freedom, and in that respects, and I actually feel in myself personally, I'm happier trying to build something for myself, and also yes, trying to build a legacy. I want to be like a philanthropist at some point, you know what I mean? Like be able to say, oh yeah, who wants to invest in people? Like you said, the entrepreneur, when you get to entrepreneur level, you're an investor and that kind of thing. So that's basically it. That's why I've done it.
Okay. Well, for me, I was in the housing association for like 16 years until they kicked me out in 2012. And then obviously I was contemplating what I'm going to do. And my friend Tracy said, why don't you just do your own business? You're qualified. You got 2 sets of qualifications. Branch out by yourself.
Yeah.
And so I did.
Yay! And you're a rather great and brilliant accountant.
Oh, thanks. So, thanks. I'll pay you later. Thank you.
See, that's how it all works, everybody.
Yeah.
I would just like to say, Mauva's such a great accountant that when you want to plan a party, she will ask you what the budget is first. That's the first question, and then afterwards she'll bake cake for you. That's her side.
There you go.
Good. Well, I was like, let's do a party. And she's like, what's the budget? I was like, wait, what?
That's
Not
it.
even, what's the set list? How many people have got? What's the budget? So, no, but that was good for me anyway. Like, you know what I mean? The budgets are very important. I'm sure we're going to do it.
Oh, yes. Definitely.
More for taking the help.
Yeah.
But yeah, Maureen, same question to you. Like, why did you go into it?
Do you know what? I mean, it's a long story, but short. I'm going to write my book now. So like Mauve, I was working for the local authority, and I'd always, had the idea of always wanting to have my own business. And but I was comfortable in the job, 23 years sitting down, getting paid monthly. And then I think I hit my 23rd year, and it hit me that I still had at least another 20 years of employment before retirement. And I'm like, I can't do this for another 20 years. My life is more than this. And then I was forced out, like Mauva, I was made redundant. So the universe said, hey, listen, you can get out. So I was made redundant, and that was like, this is the opportunity. This is the time to actually start living the life that I want and take the skills that I got. So here I am, digital confidence trainer, coach.
Good, that's good.
Yeah, really good.
So, like, we're at a certain stage right now, and we want to be at a next stage. We want to get through all these different quadrants and be where we want to be. We want to have like entrepreneur hanging over us, like, yay.
Investor, man.
Yeah.
That's it. Can I just say, before, just hold your thought. Not everybody wants to get to an investor. So let's be clear. Some people are happy being employees, self-employed, business owners, investors. Whatever your quadrant is your quadrant. So, hey.
Yeah. And I guess like the theme is about entrepreneurship. So, it's for those of us who do want to get to the fourth quadrant, like, what do you think are like what challenge have you has stuck in your mind the most, and what kind of triumphant moment have you had so far? Like, what have your experiences been, good and bad?
Wow.
I think, especially, well, both coach and trainer. First of all, is that when I first started out in my business, I thought my idea was the business. You know, everybody was going to come running and flocking. It's like, how could how could they resist this thing that I've got to offer? And no one came. You know, because it was all about what I thought people needed. And I think that was the biggest lesson that I had to learn, in the sense of that actually understanding what the people that I wanted to serve, what their needs were, and then how could I help them achieve what it is that they needed, rather than me saying, this is what you want, because most people weren't there. You know, so I think that was the biggest acknowledgement, to know that you need to really understand what it is that people need, rather than what it is that you think they need.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I've learned that as well.
I think for me, what I've learned is when I onboard a client, I always have like a quick meeting with them to get to know them, you know, see what their background is, see why they come on, why do they want my services, you know, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And in the beginning, I used to pick up everybody, just take on anybody. And sometimes it didn't really gel. So from the point where I realized, you know what, I need to sit back, think about what I want from my business, and try and get those kind of clients. Are you with me? Like, although I do get on with all my clients, don't get me wrong, but it's like, I think I want to go into a particular niche now, not just have you know, a big conglomerate, as you said, yeah, of you know, clients. Yeah, it's hard to explain, but it's like I just need to understand what kind of clients I want to go in the future, basically.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to say yes to everybody.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think that's where and we have to wrap up very quickly, but I think that's where I found challenges in trying to be everything for everyone. And I think I found that in my first business that I started, which was a virtual assistant business, and I feel like that was actually a really great business. I made quite a good profit on that, and mainly because in 2012 it was still a bit of a novelty in the UK, so it was really quite easy to network and engage with people because they didn't know what it was, and you know, it was great. But being the kind of person that I am, and from a couple of my clients who were just like, yeah, and because of their needs as well, they needed me to be in person kind of assistant as opposed to a virtual one. So I was spending more time with them, and you know, and then the more I got to know them and whatever, my services kind of changed in terms of helping them build this and build that. So I think a lot of them are like, oh, I'm a bit confused in terms of how you're marketing yourself and how you're projecting yourself. So I had to revisit all of that, and that's where Logic to Create came out of it. And then also I've got YA Creates, and I think trying to do too many things at once without having established a proper formula for the first one that you can translate into any business. And that's what one of my mentors told me, that once you get it right in one business, then you can put it into anything else. So I think I was trying to do everything at once, and then strip it back, and then gain it, strip it back and forth. But now I've kind of like, understood what I need to do, and who for as well. Your target audience and your niche is very, very important. But yeah, I think that's where we've been.
Well, listen, ladies, I think we've had a great 11Cs.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yes, guys, drop us some comments and follow us on our @ that we've put in the chat as well. We'd love to hear from you. And, you know, hopefully we see you again next week.
Yes. What day?
Next Tuesday.
Tuesday.
At what time?
11 o'clock.
That's the 1-1. Okay, guys, that has been brilliant. Again, as we said, keep in contact and look out for us.
Yeah, take care. Bye.
Take care.
Bye.